even really planning on moving. And I was just scanning the internet and I found this really cool condo downtown in Vancouver. And then I noticed the real estate agent's name and didn't know them from Adam. So our brother-in-law is a realtor in another town, and I called him up and said, call this guy, interview him, and give him the hard questions and see what sort of feeling you get off of him. And about half an hour later, the brother-in-law called back and said, he's the real deal. I would work with him. So I thought, if the guy we love, our brother-in-law, who's a realtor, says, this is someone I would trust, then we trusted him. And it was a great decision, actually. Great decision.
I chose to work with Gavin because I knew him through a friend of mine who had used him as her realtor when she was looking for a condo. I was helping her look for her place, and so got to know Gavin a little bit through that interaction. And so when it was time for me to look for a condo for the first time on my own, he was the obvious choice for me.
Gavin's just nice and normal, and he's fun, and he's funny, and he's interesting, and he's super approachable. He really is. I mean that when I say, yes, we're friends because we know him professionally, but I sure wish he lived in my neighborhood. I really do.
We knew that Gavin was trustworthy, and within the first experience of working with them, I got a pretty immediate sense that he was very hardworking.
Gavin made it really easy to realize that he wasn't in it just to make the quick commission. He had our best interests at heart, and that just makes the whole process easier. It just settles you down.
By him taking the stress and worry out of it, I was able to use my imagination some more and see what potential places had.
He was a true collaborator. Okay, it wouldn't just be complementary roles where we were kind of looking for the house we wanted and Gavin would kind of take care of the paperwork. It was very much kind of collaborative in choosing a house the whole time.
What set Gavin apart from other realtors for me is when he came to do his presentation to sell our home in East Vancouver, the level of marketing basically blew all of the other realtors out of the water.
I know sometimes when you're working with other realtors or other salespeople, you kind of get the sense that they'll lead you to one good opportunity, and if you don't make use of that as a client, they'll start to pull back. Whereas we felt with Gavin, that we'd be supported through multiple opportunities.
One of the things that I was concerned about coming into a condo transaction in particular in this city was quality of buildings, quality of materials, likely longevity of buildings. And I knew nothing about any of that except that I knew it was an issue in this city. And so Gavin did a great job of walking through what the important things are to look for in a strata council, in a building, in a depreciation report. And so that was a huge amount of comfort to me to know that he was looking out for those things and he wasn't going to let me make a bad decision on a condo.
I remember he took us around the first day and showed us different types of houses, and he really listened to what we like. Like, we really wanted the bedrooms upstairs. We wanted, a quiet, a quiet street or a quiet neighborhood. We really wanted a place where we didn't have to do a lot of renovations because neither my husband nor myself are particularly handy, and with a child we certainly couldn't take on a big project, and he really listened to that. And even after that first time, he really targeted the types of houses that would meet our requirements.
We're a blended family and we have 4 kids, and so we needed a house with 5 bedrooms, which is quite hard to find on the North Shore. And we wanted to be in this neighborhood. So he reacted really well in terms of being quick to get us in to see this house when it was available.
When it was all said and done, the process was smooth. It really was. We didn't feel like we'd been pressured to sell. We didn't feel like we sold too early. We didn't feel we sold at a lower price. Gavin made everything just seem so simple.
This was exactly the type of property that we wanted, and it wasn't totally smooth. Nothing's totally smooth, but it wasn't a completely smooth process to get here. And Gavin was beside us the whole way and made it so much easier. So I was just really thankful and relieved and happy.
None of our family friends that we've talked with has had the same kind of experience that we've had with Gavin.
He has your best interest in heart, and that's one of the main reasons I would recommend him.
we would 100% refer Gavin to our friends. In fact, we have.
We have, yeah.
On
yeah.
a number of occasions.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a property on the North Shore, but even if you're selling off the North Shore, we're in East Vancouver. He did an awesome job. Like honestly, he did a great job, and we would absolutely recommend him to anyone. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's one of the good guys. Give him a call. Like, he's a good guy.